Hello, I'm Chanel and this is Spirited Stardust, and today I'm doing the All About Tarot 22 tag as a VR to the Hermit's Cave. So the first question is your first deck and how you encountered it. So my first deck was Healing with the Fairies by good old Doreen Virtue. So it was my first deck when I was a child. My mother gifted it to me. Well, sort of, I wouldn't say gifted it, it's just that I always used it. So it was pretty much more my deck than hers. I was raised in a very Baptist household. That being said, my mum did have angel and fairy decks, but the tarot was the devil. So yeah, my first deck was this one that I received as a child. The first tarot that I purchased, it took me a while. So the first deck that I purchased as an adult oracle was an oracle. It was called Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. So that was the first deck I purchased as an adult. This year, it was just this year that I got back into cards. And the first tarot deck I bought, I'm not gonna lie, it took me quite a long time to work up, I don't want to say work up the courage, but to sort of break the chains of that religious thinking, to dispel all of the false narratives around the tarot and come to it with a clean slate and an open mind. And it was thanks to tarot tubers that I was like, you know what, I don't think this is a tool of the devil at all. It's just like the oracle cards, same but different. So my first tarot deck that I purchased was Mystical Moments. Because I felt like it was really, what's the word to use? Oh, sorry. It was non-confrontational. It was very mystical and magical, and it didn't have any sort of like alarming cards, not the typical depictions you see in a tarot, and it had a very poetic storybook sort of nature. So I thought it would be a good first deck to dip my feet into. Next up is your last deck and how your tastes have changed. So the what do you call it, the deck that I just purchased is the Broadbent Sisters clearing cards. As you can see, a very different aesthetic. I'll just put them side by side for a sec. You know, pretty different aesthetic and vibe. So how's my taste changed? So I don't say I have taste, like a certain defined taste, because I just started cards this year. I sort of purchased everything, yay consumerism, so that I could figure out what do I like, what don't I like. I wanted to have an open mind. I didn't want to like pigeon my whole self into you know, I only like this aesthetic, so I'll only buy this aesthetic. I wanted to be open to, like I said, all styles of cards. I wanted to wait until I actually receive them. So it's the difference between, look, there's some decks that I would not get 100% because I hate the artwork. I don't think I could ever get a deck where I hate the artwork. But like, for instance, this artwork, it's not to my taste at all. But I got this because the keywords were just so intriguing to me, and yeah, I wanted to see, you know, what was written in the guidebook, how it would read for me, how it would connect to it. I think you have to get a deck to know whether or not you connect, because there are some decks that I think are absolutely stunning and zero connection to, just did not connect to them. So in general, look, I do tend to like more bright and colorful decks. I do tend towards more nature decks. But that being said, I'm open to anything, bro. Anything that I connect to and that I enjoy. So it's just about experimenting and keeping an open mind and tasting all the flavors of the rainbow. So that was the Broadbent Sisters clearing cards, not clearance, clearing. Okay, next one, why tarot? So I'll just put up a tarot deck while I talk about these questions. This is the Playful Heart Tarot. Why tarot? So for me, in terms of a form of divination, cards are fun. It's fun to shuffle cards, and it's like little pieces of artwork. It's so varied. The guidebooks sometimes have such brilliant guidance in them. The only other form of divination I sort of use is, I use a pendulum all the time for yes and no questions, and I'm thinking of trying out runes. I haven't got any yet though. But tarot in general, I use as a tool for shadow work, light work, for self-reflection. I think it's amazing in terms of when you use it in conjunction with journaling. It's just really good introspective tool. It's fantastic at allowing me to connect to my intuition. And like I said, it's fun, it's relaxing to me, it's self-care. It's a form of self-care for me. And play. It's how I play. Tarot pet peeves. So for me, pip decks. I will never ever purchase a like real pip deck. I can't stand it. I need to see something in the cards. Like, I just find it lazy. I want artwork. I want effort and creativity. I don't just want some stock standard image that doesn't relate to me at all. Like, has no real life context, any context, any story to it whatsoever. So I hate pips. I'll never buy it. Let me see what else. No guidebooks. I don't care if you're, you know, a lot of them say, oh, this is based on the traditional RWS, so just use any RWS. And I'm like, no, bro, unless I'm buying the original like RWS, if you've made this deck and you've done your artwork and I want to know why did you choose this representation for this card? What was your like meaning behind this card? Because you're the creator, and I want to know, you know, the intention behind it. I love guidebooks. They make me so happy. I love reading them, and they, like I said, they broaden my perspective. They allow different insights. I don't want to get stuck into always thinking, okay, this means this, and this only. You know, I want added value in terms of a different opinion, a different way of thinking about something. So that's another pet peeve. Plastic wrap decks. I hate it when it's just plastic on plastic on plastic, especially now, like we know that you can wrap them in paper. You know, there doesn't have to be excessive packaging. That drives me nuts. Shiny gilding, you know, the old real shiny stuff that cuts your fingers. I don't like that. I know it was probably cool to begin with, but I prefer matte gilding to that shiny stuff. And I guess gatekeeping in the tarot community. I think, like, fuck the rules, man. Like, tarot how you want to tarot. Do what you want to do, and forget about all the people that are gatekeeping and saying it has to be done this way and this way only. So I've got to move this deck out of the way. This deck is the slippiest deck ever. That one's one of my gripes. Oh, cardstock. Oh my God, that's a big one. Let me just say, cardstock. The better the cardstock, this is the Lucid Dreams Saint Soleil beginner's deck. And I love the cardstock. This is matte linen. Oh, it's chef's kiss. I absolutely adore matte linen. So yeah, I don't like certain cardstocks. There's so many decks where I'm just like, oh, if this had a different cardstock, it would be a pleasure to work with. And look, it doesn't turn me off buying a deck. If I really like the content of the deck and the artistry and everything else, I will buy it. But it's a bit of an annoyance every time you touch it. Like, I'm a sensory person, and if I don't like the texture, I don't go for that deck as much. It'll be used less. Same for like oversized decks, when they're like so gigantic that I can't wrap my fingers around them. That drives me bonkers because I can't shuffle them. I'm not a riffle shuffler, I'm an overhand, and I've got little hands. So that's another pet peeve. All right, favorite tarot spread. In terms of oracles, I like doing single card pulls. You know, just a general, what do you want me to know? what do my guides want to tell me? What does the universe, what messages it have for me today? I love single card pulls for oracles, or I use them as like sort of setting the overall. I'll do one card pull and say this is like the overall theme, and then I'll use tarot whatever to expand on that theme. Otherwise, 3 card spreads I think are fantastic. And my favorite one to do on the daily, I'll put a picture of it up, is card to describe my day as a whole, what to embrace to have the best day possible, and any messages from the universe, guides, whatever, spirit, whatever you want to say. That's my favorite one just to do every day. I also love doing different spreads for different topics. I'm a bit of a spread whore. Yeah, my preferred tarot system, I would say, is, sorry, I'm just going to turn my computer screen off, it's putting a blue light, is RWS, but not just traditional RWS. I like creators' different spins based on the RWS. So I like decks based on the RWS. I think I might turn my light on. Sorry if that's going to make a big difference. I was hoping to just stick with the natural light, but I think it was getting a bit dark. So yeah, what else? Tarot rituals. Okay, so I'm going to make a video on this because I have like a million tarot rituals, but just to be like brief, you know, crystals, saging, tapping the cards, creating like a sacred space to read them. What else do I do? Using them every day when they're new. So when they're brand new, I like to use them every day for a month just to really get my energy on them. What else do I do? Yeah, I like say a blessing upon them. I hold them to my heart. I have a whole bunch of things I like to do for tarot rituals. This is the Ethereal Alchemist Tarot. So yeah, so many things. I'm going to do a video on that one. How do you use tarot? So like I said, mostly for introspection or divination, journaling. Like I said, I love to journal. I like to learn about myself, guidance, like that's a big one. Getting, you know, a little help from my friends, my little buddies, for playing, for connecting. Like I read for friends. So I use it for a whole bunch of stuff. It's just a delightful tool for many different things. And because of tarot, I now have multiple hobbies. I now crochet because I wanted to make, you know, little crochet bags. I now have a YouTube channel, which I didn't before. So now I film videos and edit videos and take photos and all that sort of thing. So it's, yeah, it's been really lovely for me doing all these hobbies now. It's really helps me to just find balance and peace, and to trust myself, to trust the universe. Yeah, there's a million reasons why I tarot. And yeah, I'll just finish this one up there because the next question is, your significator card and why you feel it represents you. So I'm an INFJ. I would say, you know, in the past when I was younger, the Queen of Cups was probably more, you know, for me. But as I've grown older and had different life experiences, it's the Queen of Pentacles. I might move these up a bit because I don't think you can see the bottom. No, anyway. Why? Because of, obviously I am a mother, but even though I am a mother of actual children now, I've always been a mother. Even as a kid, I mothered my friends, my pets, my own parents, plants. I'm a nurturer by nature. I like taking care of things. I wasn't the best at taking care of myself, but that's something I had to learn. So I also like the dichotomy with the Queen of Pentacles of being like a homemaker and a breadwinner, which is pretty much, if you're going to sum up like my life, that's what it is. I am a big homebody. I moved around a lot as a child. I didn't have a very stable family. So for me, a big driving force in my life was putting down roots, creating a home, a safe space, and creating a family. Something I felt part of. I love everything to do about homemaking, housekeeping, taking care of my garden as well, but also financial freedom was huge for me as well. So as from a young age, I was all about saving and creating wealth. I did not want to have financial scarcity. I did not want to be reliant on anybody. Even when I got married, I kept my bank account separate because I wanted to maintain that financial freedom. It's very important to me, and wealth building is very important to me. It provides a sense of safety for me and for those that I provide for. And like I said, like it's a physical security thing. It's the same thing about like my home. It helps me feel safe and secure. And what else? You know, I just, I guess overall, I want a calm, stable life. I take pleasure in earthly experiences and material things. I have a profound gratitude for all of it. Even though I am a water sign as well, I'm a Scorpio, I don't know. It's like, I think it's because my South Node's in Scorpio. It's like I've done all that. I'm very familiar with the water element and the emotional and the intuition, everything else, that I want something different. Like my North Node's in Taurus, and so I crave the earthly like qualities, the stability, the finances, the abundance. That's what I go to now. And yeah, I just see myself in the Queen of Pentacles. You know, I'm also an animal lover. For 30 years I was a vegan. I had to stop because of health reasons, and it's, as you can imagine, that was very hard because for 30 years I've been a vegan, but I still love and adore animals. And but yeah, Queen of Pentacles is who I would say represents me. This is the Cosmic Visions Tarot. So next up, let me think what's next. Most expensive acquisition. Let me go get it actually. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, my most expensive acquisition is the Abyssal Tarot. This was $187 Australian for me. So that is my most expensive deck, and I don't love it. I think the cardstock is like super flimsy, and I just did not connect to it whatsoever. Didn't care for the guidebook, so it's been a very disappointing most expensive purchase. Unfortunately, a lot of decks are very expensive to me unless they're mass market and sold in Australia. Anything that's indie, you have the currency exchange, which bites me in the ass. I always get totally destroyed on currency exchanges. The shipping is always ridiculous. I don't think I've ever paid less than $20 shipping most of the time. The most expensive shipping I think I ever paid was it was $50 to ship a deck. You know, that's sometimes double the price of a regular mass market deck in itself. So yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the decks are just super expensive. Any indie deck, I don't think I've ever spent less than $100 for an indie deck. It's always in that, you know, 100 to normally 150 range, and some of them have edged over, like this one, almost 200. That being said, if there was an amazing deck, I probably would spend as much as 200. I don't think I could ever go over $200 for a deck, to be perfectly honest. That's the Abyssal Tarot, which I'm probably going to rehome. The next one is your unicorn deck that's hard to find. For me, that's the Invisible Tarot. I'll just put this here while I'm going through that. I'll put a picture up though. I've probably already done that. The Invisible Tarot, I've seen it so many times and it looks really cool, but because there's so many limited copies left, the starting price, not even including shipping, is $300 US. I don't even want to know what that is in Australian. I don't know the current exchange rate, but that's a lot of fucking money. So no. I know that some people get the deck secondhand. I don't know what platform you're using. Like, I don't have Facebook. I don't have Instagram. So if anybody uses, that's Australian, that uses some program to, you know, buy secondhand decks, please let me know what it is, because I'm not opposed to getting a secondhand deck at all, as long as it's in good condition. Yeah, hit me up with that so I can, you know, get some of these unicorn decks, hopefully, that are just out of my price range. So next up, we've got the Lion Strider Tarot. And the next question is, what's the most important lesson the tarot has taught you? So I heard this quote somewhere. I don't remember what it's from. I tried to Google it and it came up with zilch, nada, nothing. And it is, my life isn't fated. It's my character that determines my fate. And, you know, I can choose who I want to be, and I choose what decisions I make. And the tarot helps me with that. So I don't believe like this is going to happen no matter what. I believe the path there varies. You don't always it's not just one straight line. Do you know what I mean? You can choose which route you take. The tarot has helped me learn that I can ask for help. It's something that I've, you know, always struggled with. I've been very self-reliant. I think kids that are sort of, you know, left to their own devices as children learn to just do everything themselves, as in like they're not cared for. You have to grow up at a young age. So I've always struggled asking for help. I didn't want to be a burden on anyone, but the tarot's helped me, like, you can ask for help, bro. You can get some guidance. You can get some advice. Like, hey, you know, how do I achieve this? And they'll be like, well, this is what we recommend. And how can I change this about myself? Or what do I need to change about myself? What would benefit? What would be to my highest good? It just improves me as a both spiritual and human being. Okay, that's another thing I use tarot for, is spirituality. So connection to the divine. And my, you know, my ancestors and guides and higher self. It's just an amazing tool for growth. It's an amazing tool for also, like I said, increasing your own intuition, trusting yourself, trusting that no matter what, like everything's, I don't say is going to work out as it should, like that you have no say about how your life turns out. I think you sort of choose as you go along what experiences you're going to have based on what lessons you've learned and what your soul still craves to experience. But this, yeah, like I find it does work as a divination tool. So every time that's happened, it still freaks me out a bit. I'm not gonna lie, but like, man, I did go and have to get a prescription today, or I did have to do, you know, whatever thing came up. That was just an example of the Lenormand. But yeah, and the tarot connects people too. I've, you know, feel connected to everybody that uses these cards. I feel like people who use tarot are more in touch with themselves. They've done a lot of inner work. They've had a lot of soul growth. I think you can't help but grow when you use the tarot. It really makes you take a look at yourself. And yeah, I'm forever grateful that I came across these cards. They've just delivered me so much peace and yeah, love and everything else. I'll go back to the Alchemy Tarot because I stopped, oops, filming that halfway through and I feel bad for not showing it off. So yeah, tarot has been life-changing for me. It helped me uncover so many hidden causes of things and helped me find solutions. I think that's a big one. It's like, how do I get myself out of this? How do I move forward? So it is a, you know, I want to say like a guardian angel, but you know, that's what it is. It's like someone that comes to your aid and says, let's do this together. I got you, boo. Like I got myself with the help of the tarot. And the last one is tarot dinner party guests. So if I'm going to choose people, you know, tarot people, I'll just pick 3 channels that I love on here that I saw when I first started going down the tarot tube hole. So those would be Rose Honey Ritual, Pure Red Velvet, and Owl Moon 513. And I just think they're like really rad rad people. I think they're awesome. I love listening to them. I love their opinions, and that's who I'd have if it was just in general, just like random 3 human beings that have existed. For human beings, I would say my deceased grandmother, my yaya, Sophia. She was like a mother to me, and I miss her immensely, and I would love, to spend more time with her as an older, you know, as a woman that I am now. And I would say, along with her, maybe Mary Magdalene. I like to hear her versions of things and what she went through and everything else. She seems pretty awesome. And maybe like someone like Nefertiti, you know, an ancient queen. So, you know, I just think it'd be interesting to talk to. I love women as well, so I would be choosing to surround myself with some amazing, powerful, and yeah, cool ladies. So I think that's everything. I'll leave it there. I hope you're having a absolutely tremendous morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. And as always, stay wild, star child.